Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
What is going on, everyone? Happy Friday. We are officially live, and we got lots to go over today. So we had USD CPI news hit, and check it out. So essentially, obviously the previous forecasts, well, previous results were 0.1, so inflation did increase. The forecast was actually negative and the actual results were negative. Market still reacted to it crazy as it does. CPI news, excuse me, CPI news to me is always more exciting than NFP these days. So like looking at the trades that we were in, we definitely got a nice boost from the CPI news that came up overnight. GU trade, I'm still holding it. I am curious to see what's going to happen. I only had a small position on this, so I'm just going to hold it. Maybe we'll close some of it out depending if we'll do some analysis and see where price is at, what it's doing. If it's making higher highs on a lower time frame, then potentially we'll close the trade. USD-CHF, that is another trade. We got stopped out once it retested the 21, but we also got another signal yesterday on the daily close, and then we re-entered on it. So that is in profit as well, not by much. We're up about currently 0.3. Green is good. Profit is always good. So that's a good thing. ADJPY finally made its way into our direction. Now, when I live streamed this and took this trade, we saw that we had the A2 signal here. I didn't enter until we got this nice rejection off the daily 50 EMA. So I just had a bit of patience and I wanted to see what happened with this trade. I entered on this candle close a little bit further down here. That's my actual price. We did go into a bit of drawdown, so, you know, not too bad. But we rejected that 50 EMA again, and we saw this nice bearish downwards move here. So sellers stepping in off this very, bless you, of this significant level of resistance up here. So that is good. NZD-JPY as well. We took this trade yesterday, straight into profit. If I jump down to the intraday trading time frame, we took the trade 9 a.m. So this is the 9 a.m. candle. We took the trade when the market opened, not even a little bit in the drawdown. And look at that, directly in our face. This is probably the trade, one of the better trades I've had. It's nice when trades do this, where the signal is on point. You're buying it at a very specific level. So this was cool to see. So coming back to the daily chart here, you can see what I was looking at as price was kind of making lower lows. I'm only focusing on like the short-term like horizon here on the daily. I'm not looking too far back for this trade. The reason being is because I like the way price was pushing down. We moved back up and we found this solid brick wall. So this solid resistance level up here. And then price made a new lower low. We came back up, retested it. We had the 50, 21, and 8 EMA in a perfect downwards trend there. So there was just lots of confluence on this trade. I did accidentally delete my TDI indicator. Alright, so let's put this on. TDI indicator just gives us market bias. And then as we took the trade, L50 was starting to pull below the 50 value into the sell zone, confirming my bearish bias short term. Looking back here as well, if we were to take this, we also have another point of structure here. So this was support, broken, turned resistance, retest, making lower lows. So great level to sell this off. Nah, it's all good. Yeah. Euro NZD, another trade we're in. This actually tagged 1R. There is a lot of resistance to this level. So looking left, you can clearly see, looking at this, we'll take this high here. All right, and we'll take that body candle. But there's a lot of resistance happening up here. I am actually bullish on this pair. It is kind of consolidating if you look at the range. So price isn't actually making any clear higher highs or lower lows. It's simply trading in this massive range here. All right. You can say that it is making higher highs short term. So I did draw this up on my analysis the other day where we had this push down. We made a higher high over here. And now you can argue that this is the higher low. But it's not a higher low until this level up here has been taken out. All right. So even if we get a fib, so if we were to try and build out some more confluences, if we go from the low to the high, all right, to that point, you can see that we retested that golden zone, which is the 0.618 fib from low to high in this overall bullish trend. And we also had a double bottom on the daily here before price started moving up. So is this a good place to buy it at the A2 signal on the daily? I'm going to say yes. The reason I say that is because look at the EMAs as confluence, where we had the upshift. So price, the EMAs to the 8 shifted above the 21 EMA here, which is a strong short-term trend. That is what it's telling me. And then we broke above the daily 50 exponential moving average, which is also another sign, another confluence that we are, it's at a good buying area. All right, and you can see price is holding the 8, holding the 15, holding the 21. We got the A2 signal, and I'm just gonna hold this and trail my stop at the 21. All right, so that's that trade. And then we took another trade. So we got stopped out of oil as it came back up with that bullish momentum yesterday, stopping us at the 21 EMA. We got the signal again, and we did re-enter. I want to see how this daily candle ends here. I want to see if we can get a retest or a rejection off that 50 EMA. So basically, I've just gone through the charts. I will go through them with you again today, but nothing else is presenting. I'll show you the trades on MT4. So we got $228 floating profit right now, which is 0.22% of my total account in profit. So not a lot. I did post a story on my Instagram page explaining why I'm only trading 0.1% trades, putting only 0.1% on these trades. The reason being is because I've still got a lot of testing to do, but I want to forward test this and I want to journal basically how everything plays out and how reliable trading the daily time frame is. and also if I can be consistent with this new routine. So that is the biggest reason why I'm doing these live streams, just to kind of make sure I'm on track. I can consistently get to my trading desk at these times, go through the markets, do my analysis, and take these trades and also manage them. A big thing about swing trading, coming from a day trading perspective, is you are susceptible to overnight risk if any news events do come out. By using the A2 and how Austin and the guys over at ASFX have developed it, the default stop loss is using a high to low fib, trend-based fib extension. So it gives you on the daily quite a large stop loss. So if anything does happen, and I'll give you an example of this now. So CPI news on US dollar, look at these candles, price moving up, pause, and keeps going up. If I jump to the day trading time frame, look at all this kind of chop where price is very sporadic. If you're trading in this on the day trading time frame, you wouldn't be having a very good time. Same thing with what happened on gold overnight as well for me. Price spiked down, spiked up, came back down, and slowly started moving in the overall direction that gold has been moving, and all these other pairs have been moving as well. Same thing with GU. So any USD pair or USD quote pair got affected by this massive shakeup where price spiked down, rallied higher, spiked down, and now it's kind of moving up off that level. So, you know, if looking at all this noise on the lower time frame, nothing wrong with it at all. You just got to be very diligent and careful how you trade these type of high impact news events. But on the daily time frame, it looks like nothing even happened. You know what I mean? So this is something I'm training myself to be more disciplined in holding these trades. Yeah, okay, I'm not entering and exiting within, you know, an hour or less when I was day trading. Even scalping, you know, just a few minutes. I'm holding these trades for days, weeks, and potentially months if I can get a good trend. So let's take this as an example here on Euro USD. If I was trading back on June 27th last year, and I was like, hey, this signal presented, I was doing the live streams, like, hey everyone, I'm taking this trade. We would have entered here, we would have trailed our stop at the 21, right? And we would have got stopped out at about 1.65 R here. Of course, as price does go R multiples, I am going to start piecing out, because if price rallied all the way down to 3R, but I got taken out here, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. All right. So let's say that is our exit point over here when price retests to 21 right there. I'm in this trade holding it for 22 days. So almost a month worth of price action happening here. All right. So I can easily see more and more of these efficient trends that we can hold trades for. And that's just a matter of patience and letting the bigger overall trend play out and not trading the trends within the trends on the lower time frames. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, CPI news definitely went in our favor on majority of our trades. We also got stopped out of our AU 200 trade. We had the stop loss all the way up here, but the volatility and spread took us out. So I'll show you that right now, just to be transparent with you guys. There it is here. So Aussie 200 got stopped out. We only put 0.04% of our account on risk on this trade. So nothing crazy. All right. And you can see I've taken some partial profits on USD CHF, Euro USD, as well as AUD and ZD. So we've secured some profits. We're not just gonna let the market come back, stop us out for little or nothing, and we're trying to take profit where we can. So anyone listening, if you want me to go over anything in detail, Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin's had a very nice rally. I think we're up 9% on the day at one point. Almost 9%, 8.8% was its max gain for the day. All right. Yeah, all good. See ya. Yeah. So we had, I don't know if this is the Bitcoin bottom. I don't know if this is a relief rally before we see a move to the downside. it's very hard to say. If we go to the monthly time frame on Bitcoin, we are testing a very, very strong level of support back from 2017. So do I believe we have hit the bottom on Bitcoin? I actually think potentially 90% sure we have. Not saying we're going to start seeing buyers come in and we're going to see 100k Bitcoin in the next few weeks. I'm saying that we could potentially chop sideways, accumulate orders until people gain more trust and faith in the asset again, because all the people, it's funny how many people were going on about Bitcoin and had so much belief in it, and as soon as it crashed from its all-time highs, they've just disappeared. You don't really see these people going on about it too much, besides, the people that really believe in the project. And if you really believe in an asset, you don't care what happens with price. You know what I mean? That's why, especially me with my long-term investing on the VTS, which is an index fund, or people that dollar cost average into the S&P 500 for long-term growth, you believe in the companies, you believe in the asset class, and it allows you to dollar cost average into it every month, putting risk on it every single month, and let it compound and do its thing. So obviously, if you don't believe in Bitcoin, you're only trading it to make money. If you were a long-term holder, or someone told you to buy it, and at a family barbecue or family dinner or over Christmas or whatever, and you have no idea what Bitcoin is, and let's say you brought it at the highs and you lost all this money, you're not going to continue to dollar cost average in it because you don't believe in the asset, you don't know anything about it. So I think we're going to have to wait until people can really start to kind of just investors start pouring money back in here. As well, you've got geopolitical events, you've got global economic crisis kind of coming around with talks of a recession. The economy here in Australia is pretty it's not the best. It could get worse, but we'll just see what happens. And you're not gonna people can't even afford to pay rent, their mortgages, or buy groceries. I doubt they're going to start putting money into these type of risky assets such as crypto. All the Bitcoin influencers keeping quiet, don't worry, they'll be coming out of the woodwork soon. The wider they open their mouths, the thicker the candles they can fit in. It's so true. I think Bitcoin definitely has its purpose in the crypto space. And the fact that it's so heavily influenced in all the altcoins as well. I actually saw something where Amazon, so the token Avalanche, which is one of another crypto project, Amazon is actually partnering with them. So Amazon being the company they are, they're looking into these type of crypto projects from these altcoins. So there is definitely a purpose in it, 100%. So, and it's good to see some of these smaller, well, not really small cap, but other type of crypto assets starting to detach themselves from rallying and falling when crypto price rallies or falls. So that will be really good for a lot of investors or traders out there trading those altcoins as well. So I'm sure a lot of people would have remembered last year with the crypto bull market, with this massive rally from late 21 into so from 2021 into 2022. You couldn't lose money. I mean, it was very hard to buy an altcoin, hold it for a few days, few weeks, and not make any money on it. So they're the trades we've taken. Nothing has presented on the daily chart for us that we can get involved in with any of the US indices. They're kind of just slowly making their way up. Like I said, long term, I'm bearish right now. Looking at this bearish trend back from 2021, from December. So into 2022, we've had some nice relief rallies where we've had these massive extensions to the downside. Right, testing this trend line. In order for us to kind of see some type of relief, you would definitely need the market to really kind of rally up, making newer highs. If we were to jump to the weekly time frame, you'll see this a little bit better, where, you know, it definitely has, I reckon it's still got room to fall. Looking at the S&P 500 index as well, remove the drawings. I was explaining this to someone last week, where if you take the 2008 crash, you kind of just box that off here. Just get rid of. Right, so this was a massive drop. This was, I believe, an 57, 58% drop from high to low. And that took, from that high to the low, it took roughly 518 days for that 58% drop to occur. And now if you take that range, obviously not the range of that box, but you take that 58% to high to low, so that would be your correction if it was to drop 58% from high to low. So like, it just kind of puts it into perspective how crazy that 2008 market crash was on the S&P 500. In terms of its volatility, nowhere near what it is now, but like, I still think there's some downwards movement to that for sure. Joe's, how's it going, Jerome? Do you look into chart patterns or just keep entries, just taking entries off the zones and key levels? So chart patterns is something I was thinking about later last year when I was contemplating trading, swing trading the daily time frame. Not really. I will do trend lines occasionally. So let me give you an example of that. Give you an example in oil. So you can see with oil how we kind of got that trend line from the top. It tested and tested it again, and now we're kind of retesting that trend line. I'll use kind of trend lines and kind of zones. In terms of chart patterns like flags, wedges, triangles, no, not really. Horizontal zones to me are still very, very significant, as well as diagonal and horizontal diagonal trend lines. I think they serve a much significant purpose, and they're weighed more into analysis as well. But don't get me wrong, if I, on the daily time frame, for like a bullish or bearish flag to play out, it takes a very long time. So, you know, to see anything like that happen, I think I actually drew one up on, I can't remember which pair it was. So GA, you can see kind of we had this bearish flag pattern where price pulled right up. You can say that would be your flag pole, and then you could say that this would be your flag pattern where we're testing the highs, testing the lows, testing the highs. And if you want to say that's kind of breaking out now, you could, or you could just kind of adjust using the wicks like that, and you could say it's testing the lows. All right, and it's also testing horizontal support as well. So this is a way you could definitely use analysis like this to build confluence, where you have the bottom of this channel being tested, you have a horizontal level, a significant level being tested as well, and you also have, you know, if you want to add EMAs in there and stuff like that, you can easily start to build a lot of evidence to see where price may go. At the end of the day, we never know, but you can get probabilities on your side by stacking stuff like this. So simply like on GA, where we've broken above a certain level of resistance, there is a lot of chop looking at this level here, and it's very hard. Let me just delete this and I'll kind of show you what I mean. So like, to be able to navigate all this chop in here, so this is obviously just consolidation where price isn't really going anywhere. You'd be able to find some very nice buying and selling opportunities on a lower time frame, and find trends within this consolidation. But as price pushed down here, we literally just tested the highs and lows, right? Before price made its broke out, we got that A2 signal, and then price fell here, but then it kind of got sucked right back up into that channel, and now we're kind of trading above it. So where price may go in this scenario, looking at the overall trend, it really did reject this level right up here. All right, so let me delete these little boxes. So this level up here at, let's just call it 1.82,000, using horizontal levels of support is probably one of your most powerful ways to find key levels. And the reason I say that is because if you find a level, and how I find these levels is I'm simply just looking at reaction points where price came to a price point and either just a lot of sellers or buyers stepped in and price completely fell or reversed off that level. So looking left, I can even drag this further back and you can find another level, right? So let me get rid of this to clean it up. Let me get rid of this and you guys will be able to see this a lot clearer. So as price made its move down, we simply just saw a lot of sellers in this, a lot of buyers, sorry, in this area on GA, and it pushed price all the way up. All right, I'm not worrying about these little market blips in here. I'm just focused on where price ended up before it reversed again, which was up here, and then a lot of sellers stepped in, pushed right past that level where buyers took control, and then it used that support as a very significant level of resistance and then pushed market down. So all I'm using is that as a key level to see what happened again. So as we pushed back up to that level, we used it as resistance twice, had a double top, market kind of had a little relief rally, and then we kind of never really pushed higher. And now as market is kind of trading lower, you can use recent data. So I wouldn't go back looking for zones within here to kind of find a level in here. I would simply narrow it down to what you're seeing on my screen now. And we have a level in here. I'm just going to use that wick, right? Where you can see there was a lot of trading price action around there. Price tried to come back off it. We had a lot of sellers step in. So short term, I'm very bearish at this point. Obviously, we don't have a signal to get involved. If we're on lower time frames, I'm sure we could have found something. And the next level where we're finding some resistance is clearly down here. All right, so this is short-term support and resistance where price may react. You may see a reaction in price. All right, so we see this massive push down, price rejects off that level, bounces back, we get that double bottom, rejection, then price moves up. So it's kind of just in a consolidation phase, nothing too crazy. If we jump down to the 4-hour time frame, you'll see this a lot clearer, where you can see the trend now. So you can see the downwards trend, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and we're breaking through that level. So now you can finally see that we're just kind of going sideways. We're kind of stuck in a channel. Price hasn't been able to push below 1.7500. So that is a very significant level to me on the lower time frame, as well as the daily time frame as well. So depending if I was to take a bet on where this goes, I'm going to say a scenario like this. And what I'll do is I'll mark it up, and then over the next few days, we'll see what happens. If we can't break below this level, which we haven't been able to break through for quite a while, looking back over here. So once again, you can see price on the 4-hour come down, test that level, reject off it, got all that resistance, using it as support, try to break back above. Then we develop a few new little minor levels of structure in between. And now we're back at that main level. So the fact that price is back here and we still can't break below it tells me one of two things. That sellers really want to get price below that level, or sellers simply can't take control and buyers will step in. I reckon we may test. If we break this level of support, I would see a scenario like that. If we break below this level, we would then use this level as resistance and for price to move lower. So 50-50 chance of whatever could happen. But that's kind of how I'm using my analysis on horizontal support and resistance. If I get an A2 at a very key level, just like I described doing that analysis, then I'm going to take the trade, hands down. I'm seeing oil on the weekly time frame hitting a resistance now, becoming support to hit in 2018 and all right. So oil's an interesting one. Like I was saying yesterday. So if you watched my stream yesterday, I was saying oil is heavily affected by technicals, but more impacted by fundamentals as well. All right. A simple tweet can easily, or a simple contract or deal expiring can affect the price of oil. It does respect technicals very well though, which is a very interesting scenario. So with oil, if you can line up your fundamentals with your technicals, you're gonna get some really, really good trades. All right, so you're saying that I'm seeing oil on the weekly time frame. So let's jump to the weekly. Let me open up a new chart right here. And let me just delete all of this and let me get indicators. All right. So on the weekly time frame, you're seeing hitting resistance. So this is pretty much how I see it. So with oil having this massive rally from 21, back in December, November 21, we came off this level from here and we pushed. Every week was a bullish candle, which is obviously a good sign. A lot of buying strength in that. We had a week where we kind of just paused, a bit of relief, a few sellers, people taking profit, whatever you want to call it. And then we saw price jump massively up here. Now, a lot of this was caused by geopolitical events and a lot of it due to with inflation, printing money, all that good stuff. And then you've seen price kind of just fall ever since we hit that top at $126. As price was falling, you can see that we didn't quite use this level to a key. All right. And what I mean by that is if we just take that kind of doji candle from the, October 25th, back in 21, we did see a lot of resistance as price was coming down, not quite to that level, but price couldn't quite touch it. We rejected off it. And now we're actually trading below that level. So if you are using that level as a place to sell off, it makes sense because what's happened is if I jump back down to the daily, you can see how this price action has been reacting to this level where you've got this very nice downwards trend, price making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And you can see how price has actually broken higher than this lower high here, but we had this double top. All right, so I did my analysis on this on the daily yesterday, and now we've held that level at 92.50, and price could not break back above it. If we broke above $97, I'd be more bullish than bearish, but because price broke this level down here, so with this double top right there, where we had almost equal highs, price has also broken this level here, not just with a candle, but also a candle close. Right? So if we use that candle close right here and this candle up here, right? Basically that just screams bearish to me if we can close on especially the daily below that level. Now looking at a point of support where I might see buyers start to step in, I could easily see buyers stepping in at this level here. All right, so I have my short position on oil. Let me jump to the 12-hour just to kind of show you what I'm looking at. So my short position, I got back into oil. I'm looking for a retest of pretty much, I'm going to say $71 is going to be my sweet spot, but I can easily see oil coming down to 70. Once again, I'm not big on commodities. I haven't really traded oil and I don't understand the fundamentals a lot. So all this analysis and technicals could be wrong. But as price kind of comes back up here on the daily, retesting and rejecting off that 50 EMA, rejecting that bearish trend line, there's just a lot of confluence for me to be bearish right now. So looking back at this level of support, I should say resistance, sorry. I think if you put your stop loss in a good place and you can get a decent risk to reward, to $70, $71, sorry, you're gonna have a pretty good trade. That's for sure. So yeah, so that's my kind of take on oil. Once again, I've already managed all my trades, guys. So over on my broker, everything's pretty much been done. Wait. So all our trades now, I think, are in profit besides GU and something else. So yeah, Euro USD trailing stop loss. I will just adjust it because market did close and open a new candle. All right, so we're gonna move our stop loss on Euro USD just below that 21 EMA on the daily. US oil is open risk, so we haven't been able to adjust that yet since it's in a bit of drawdown. USD CHF, this is another one. So this is the trade we took the other day. What I'm gonna do on this trade, since I got stopped out of it and I re-entered, I'm simply just gonna drop my risk and put that at break even. All right. This isn't something I'm going to be doing all the time. It's just because I am forward testing. I don't know if I should be taking back-to-back signals if I get stopped out. I haven't got the testing for that yet. So that was kind of an impulse entry to get back in. Oil wasn't an impulse entry because of the analysis. I really went deep on that analysis on US oil just because I'm liking where price is at the minute. ADJPY, I was thinking about moving this to the 21. Actually, you know what? I will move it to the 21. So moving my stop loss just above the 21 there on ADJPY does risk me getting tagged out and price continuing to move. All right. So the way I'm testing my current trades, back testing them, I need price to kind of go about 0.5. So you can argue that that was pretty much there, or 1R. Before I can put my stop loss at break even and trail my stop loss. All right, so there's a lot of bearish confluence here. Looking at this resistance level now becomes support. The last thing you want to do is get kind of tagged out of a trade like this. If I jump down to the 4 hour, you can see price is kind of making these higher highs here. If I just focus on this part of the chart, where we've got the low, got a higher high, higher low, and we've got a higher high. The thing that gives me a lot of confluence is that we tried to come higher. We made this lower high, so we couldn't create a new high. And now we're trading below this. So what tends to happen is we'll test this minor level of structure in here as resistance, and then price will continue down. So that is something that I may or may not change. You know what? I'm just going to put it at break even. I'm happy for the trade to kind of take me out at break even, but the last thing I want is for the trade to tag me out and then continue on in that overall direction. At the end of the day, I don't want to be taking that full, $100 0.1% loss right now, especially because we're in a bit of profit. Whatever that was. And same thing with USD. This was an excellent trade on NZD/JPY. 21 EMA is right at entry. So I can't complain about that. That's really cool. So I'm just going to let that be. And I'm just going to trail this as it goes. And then same thing with GU, guys. GU is really testing us here at our stop loss. The reason I haven't closed GU yet is because I don't know if it will be the same analysis on the daily. Yeah, okay. So looking at the daily candle here, we did close with a new high. So what that tells me is that buyers are definitely in control. We got the 8 and 21 shift. You got the 50 EMA down here. So this was more of a counter trend move. Should I have been in it? Probably not. Was it impulse? Yeah, 100%. Should I kind of close the trade and just take the loss? Yeah, I should. And I probably will. But what I am seeing, and I'll tell you why I haven't done that yet. Not that you know what's going to happen and you can do all the technical analysis in the world and nothing plays out based on that, theory you've come up with. But there was a level on the 4 hour right here. So this candle And what I'll do is I'll just take off the EMAs so you guys can see that. There was a candle here that spiked up and there was a bit of rejection towards that level. If I even bring this further to the left here, we'll just take it here. So as price kind of had this massive bearish move, we rejected this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we pinned up 7 times. And now that we are back at that level, we're rejecting it again. My stop loss is just above there. If spread does open up and it gets close, it's going to take me out. But I'm just curious to see how we react to this level. That's all. That's why I haven't closed it yet. It was only a small position. So I know this mentality doesn't stand in trading because it's only 0.01%. I'm already negative $73 on the trade and my max stop loss is $89. So there's not much of a difference from it where it is. Could potentially reverse to break even or into profit or stop me out for an extra $15. Now, that's something I have journaled in my paper journal, because if I was using 1% risk, it wouldn't be $15. It would be on a $100,000 account, on $1 million account, it would be a couple thousand dollars difference. All right. So it's these little habits that you must fix before you can adapt and continue to become a better trader. In some scenarios, you can get away with it. And the reason I say some scenarios, because this is a trade I probably shouldn't have been in, and you should always cut your losses quick. But also, if you have a set stop loss, you got to be comfortable of letting that stop loss get hit. And that is the scenario I'm looking at now. So yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. Hey, how you going? All right, so yeah, this will be an interesting, very interesting trade to see how this one plays out. But as for anything else presenting, there's been nothing that's kind of come our way. One of the members were looking at this candle formation after 21 EMA, so ASFX A2 entry. CPI definitely helped you out there with the US dollar there, with the quote pair. So looking at the day trading time frame, you got the same thing. Depending if you had your stop loss, you may have got tagged out. But yeah, CPI news is just crazy to trade these days. And that's about it. I haven't got any signals that look like they may present. We had USD CHF we are in. I was just saying about that one. But it looks like it's going to be a few more days. Probably won't have a trade until the middle of next week now. Joe, all right, cool. You're still holding AED trade. Cool. You definitely, there's a bit of resistance on the left, but I reckon you could easily get 1R, secure some profits, lock your stop, and then just see where it goes. If the Aussie dollar weakens with inflation news, which it has, and the USD gets stronger, then you're definitely going to see some nice rise in that trade. So this is the fun thing about swing trading. GN has a potential trade that... When did this present? That's the first. So this is just now. Let me just double check what happened here. Yes, the market opened at, this is the 9 a.m. candle. So there was a bit of volatility during the Asia Open here that threw us a signal. So we might actually, I'm going to mark this up. This will be markets closed for me tomorrow. Saturday here in Australia, Saturday morning. So basically, I reckon Monday we'll check GN. We'll do some analysis on it. I hate this price action on GN, but it reminds me of EuroCAD. Was it EuroCAD or... Hang on. EuroCHF. All right, so EuroCHF, we essentially had like all this choppy price action. Looking at GN, same sort of scenario. Just with EuroCHF, we had more kind of signals that kind of, you know, were tempting us to get involved. We also had that bullish L50 on the TDI. Looking at GN. Yeah, okay. GN might be a good one. Has quality of life. Yeah. Quality of life has drastically improved to a sense where, as much as I kind of missed the action of day trading, I could never just consistently pick a session to trade, whether it be trading in the morning on the 15-minute chart here in Sydney, Australia, trading an Asia session. Very much possible, but I wouldn't call it day trading because there's no volume or volatility, and you're holding these trades for hours. So you're kind of technically swing trading, but you're in front of the screen for a few hours day trading. The London session was always fun, but I couldn't find consistency with it, and the New York session was something I wanted to trade because of the US indices. But it's like 12:30 a.m. in the morning, so I did try it for a bit. I did early morning trading with scalping indices, but it just got to a point where my quality of life, my sleep, lifestyle just deteriorated like crazy. Now that I can come to the charts, once I finish my testing, I will go through the whole process with you guys. Which pairs I don't want to be trading all of these pairs, right? I want to come to my desk. I want to have maybe 10 pairs I go through. Whether it be Euro USD, GA, whatever it is, go through them and I look for the signals, right? I do my analysis, look for the signals to present. If nothing presents, it's literally taking me about half an hour and I'm on with my day. Whereas if I'm day trading, the 15-minute time frame, for example, every 15 minutes, the candle is closing, which means there is potential for an entry. You got to be sharp, you got to be ready, and you really got to spend a lot of time at the screen. Once again, there's nothing wrong with that. I do miss it because it is fun, it's enjoyable for me, but at the same time, it is very boring and it does take up a fair bit of my day. Is there a signal you tend to trade? Right now, it's the A2. A2 trade for sure. ASFX A2. Essentially, with the A2 trade, A2 signal, it's just the way Austin explains it is you're getting in at a specific price. So when price retests to 21, obviously we all know about exponential moving averages. They act as dynamic support and resistance. But looking at EuroCHF as an example, if you can line up your key levels using horizontal support and resistance zones, you get these A2 signals. Basically, the A2 signal is telling you, hey, this candle is closing at a good price. And depending on all the other confluences that stack around it, you don't want to be taking every single one of them. But if you can get the A2 signal at a good level, that is one of my favorite signals so far. And it's proving to be very reliable on multiple time frames and multiple markets as well. I think Austin has a 80% strike rate using the A2. He's been on a massive win streak just trading US indices and crypto, mostly Bitcoin. So it's definitely got something going for it, 100%. Sebastian says, could you explain me in short how your swing strategy? So my swing strategy works in short. Without going into too much detail, but providing as much detail as possible, I mostly look for trends, all right? If a market is trending, this is what I'm looking for. And this is what I always look for when trading. Even when I was scalping, even when I was day trading. For a bullish trend, if I'm looking to buy the market, I need this scenario. If there is a bearish trend, and I'm going to do this all in one, so you guys understand what I'm looking for. Bullish. So in a bearish trend, this is what I'm looking for. All right. So essentially what I need, is price to come to a key level, which would be a previous level of resistance. Okay. Now, if we had the exponential moving averages on the screen, I would wait for price to come back to the 21 and present a signal at this key level. All right. If the signal presented over here, I would be reluctant taking it because I know price can come lower because support and resistance levels act like magnets. Not that they always have to go to them, but the probability of price going to a support or resistance level is very strong. All right. I have rules how I determine these support and resistance levels, and also have rules of how I look for my higher highs and higher lows. All right, I actually have a video on my YouTube if you want to go check it out. I'll quickly show you guys which one it is, and I kind of explain the rules of how I find these higher highs and higher lows. There we go. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll just paste the video for you guys, and you'll be able to check that out. What is going on, everyone? In this video, there we go. All right. So I'm going to paste this in the comments. Hopefully it works. All right. And that basically explains what I'm explaining now. Now, looking back at a price chart, you can see the trades I've taken. If we look at Euro USD on the daily, I have taken this position here. The reason I've taken it is not just because I saw the signal, but because price is trending higher, making higher highs, higher lows. And what's happened is price never took out this lower high, which means that it's going to be respected. Not all the time, but most of the time. And we also have the 50 EMA down here. We have the 21 and the 8. So that just tells me there is a strong short-term uptrend happening right now. We got the signal. So that signal gets me involved in the market. All right. So when I get that signal present, that is my cue to place my order. I'm not just placing orders at random. I need this signal to present. On top of all that, I also use the Traders Dynamic Index, which is TDI for short, and I'm mostly focused on that yellow line just here. All right. So this yellow line is market sentiment. If this line is above the 50 value, I am bullish. If it is below, I am bearish. But the fact that we have price making higher highs on Euro USD, we have market sentiment saying bullish. We have the EMAs in a short-term uptrend. They're all confluences I use to stack in my favor to take high probability trades. All right. So coming back to that scenario, I've deleted it, which is all good. My strategy is simply finding in-trend trades and making sure they are coming over to a key level. And then that's when I will buy or sell. And that's just the inverse for this one. So if I go to ADJPY, same thing. So what we have is we have this downtrend on the daily. We got a lower low, lower high, lower low. What happened is price came back up. We never violated this previous high, which means we are in a confirmed downtrend. We then got a signal at a strong key level of resistance, which was right there. My stop loss goes above that level of resistance, and we got the 50 EMA, the 21 and the 8. And we also have that TDI, which is market sentiment, below the 50, which is telling me it's bearish. So that is how I take all my trades. All these trades have the same parameters. Got that 50, 21, 8 EMA. You got the L50 coming into the sell zone. You got market making lower lows, lower highs, or higher highs, higher lows in my favor. The only trade that's going against me right now is GU. This potentially might stop me out. The reason is this was a counter trend move. I tried shorting this when the L50 is in the buy zone, which is a bullish market sentiment. I was too focused on the short-term price action, which in return, the technicals do say short it, but all the parameters that give me the high probability trades were not ticked off. All right. So we did have that 8 and 21 in the downtrend, but we had the 50. I was trading towards the 50 exponential moving average, which is a counter trend move, which is less probable. And we had the L50, which is market sentiment in the buy zone, which is saying buyers potentially may still be in control. So there are just things like that where you can take high quality trades based on those parameters. Aussie 200 indice, same thing. I tried shorting this. Market sentiment in the buy zone. We got 8 and 21 were in a downshift. That was the only parameter that we had. Other than that, I was trading towards that 50 exponential moving average. If you look up, I'm just having a look. So there was an ebook that kind of explains all the EMAs. Let me just have a quick look and see if I still got it. Give me 2 seconds, guys. There we go. So if I can find... I can't find it right now, but our next live stream I'll definitely have it. But it basically describes all of the EMAs and how they work. Do you take trades on the day? Yeah, so I'm taking trades on the daily time frame now, swing trading instead of day trading. Reason being is just better lifestyle, better price analysis. I'm not switching between too many time frames, getting confused by all the noise, and I'm just looking to capture that overall trend. Sebastian says, and how I get the signals. So to get the signals on the chart, you've got to actually go to AceFX TV, not AceFX TV, sorry, acefx.biz. So this is the AceFX signal that I'm using, and they have all of the charting signals, indicators, everything you need, and how to use it as well. So I believe the AceFX A2 signal is actually public. If you watch the webinar, I'm not sure if you can actually get access to the webinar yet. I believe it is in the courses, but if you go to TradingView, Sebastian, you click indicators at the top, you type in AceFX, and then you will see there we go. So AceFX A2 entry, the beta one. So it's a community script. That is how you get the A2 signal on it. You want to learn how to use it as effectively as you can buy the courses through AceFX, or you can sign up to AceFX TV, which is a monthly subscription, and Austin himself will take you through all of the analysis. I think 2 or 3 times so it's $44.99 a month. So it is cheaper than the courses, but you'll still gain a lot of insight in how to use it. Just pretty much like how I'm doing it now, but with a lot more information. US 100 now hitting a recent support zone on the 4-hour. Would you go to lower time frame? All right, so looking at US, you say US 100? All right, let's check it out. All right, so I've actually never looked at US 100 before. So you're saying US 100 now hitting a recent support zone. So I'm assuming you're talking about, let me just before I continue, let me know if I'm on the right chart, the right pair. So the way I am drawing my zone here is I'm trying to capture as much data as possible. Looking left. So I'm trying to get these pins, a few of the bodies, these pins, so as much price data as possible in there to make sure this zone is as significant as it can be. All right. And I simply just drag it left to see what other levels of confluence I can find. Let me know if you're talking about NAS 100 or US 100 as well, because I usually get those ones confused sometimes. But other than that, yes, so it is testing a recent level. So the way I see that is price made this extension down, retested this level as resistance. Yeah, okay, US 100, okay, cool. Tested it again as resistance, had this double top. It could not put in a new lower low, broke that resistance level, using it as support, but could not make a new higher high. So it kind of just consolidated there for a few weeks, and now we are testing it. So yes, I be listening to streams. Yeah, so the streams are all uploaded to my channel. I think two of them got a copyright claim, but they're still there. I think the music just might have disappeared. I've got to double check them. So right now, I don't think I have music playing, or if I do, it's just on a loop from one of the YouTube audio samples that I am allowed to use. So this is a very interesting trade ID, Joe. So what I'm looking at here is obviously predicting price to come lower. Now looking at recent price action, if I was to go on a lower time frame, let's say the 4 hour, and I was to use the D2 analysis, was it D2 or D1? Yeah, D2. If I was to look at that divergence on the RSI, so find that low point, which is here, and that high point, I would be more inclined. Short term, this would be an uptrend, but focusing on that overall downtrend, we haven't tested this level of 11. Let's call it 11,500. So even handle numbers are psychological numbers in the market, and the market does respond to them quite well. So what I mean by that is, I guess you could call it like quarters theory, or just evening out the numbers. The way I put it is, every time you go fill up your car with fuel or gas, wherever you are in the world, you always try and get that number to $40 on the dot, or $50 even. So I do anyway, and a lot of people I know do. So if you look at where price stored, 11,500. So you can see how it's not precise, but there is rejection to that 11,500 level. Actually, you know what? I don't know how well you guys can see that pin from that bar, but if I was to draw an arrow just here, if I go use the magnet tool, oops, 11,499.9. So quarters theory or even handle numbers are respected in the market very, very well. So that wick rejected that level precisely. All right. So with going on a little bit of a tangent there, with price testing that level again for the first time since December last year. So it's been last time price tested that level with a lot of buyers was 35 days ago. So almost 36 days. Not significant, but still a while. I would say going down to even a lower time frame, depending on how this kind of shakes up with all this CPI mess and all this chop. If I go to the 1 hour, it's not going to look any better. I would wait to see some type of rejection. And I would probably be more bearish than bullish, especially looking at that TDI indicator on the daily, where we have the L50 pulling back into the sell zone now. We got the 50 EMA over here as well. So another thing, like short term, you can use these EMAs to kind of make trading decisions, whether to wait, have more patience, or completely stay out of a trade. The way how we broke above that 50 EMA with this bullish bar, we kind of pushed back up and we rejected that 50 EMA, and you have that 8 and 21, 8 EMA crossing above the 21. That could easily tell us that buyers could be stepping in control, or this isn't ready to drop yet. So having patience before shorting this market would definitely be a massive win for everyone. If I jump down to the 12 hour, you can kind of see that a little bit better as well, just dividing the 2 hour daily candle. But yeah, other than that, the only thing I just said, so GN was the only thing. Okay, so the signal has apparently disappeared on GN. So we have nothing so far presenting for us come Monday. I will probably do a quick little stream tomorrow morning, so Saturday morning for me, to kind of go over the week, the trades we've taken, and kind of prepare ourselves for Monday market open. But yeah, other than that, guys, I really appreciate you all being on. This is fun. Sebastian says, is it good to have a bad risk to reward? It really does depend. I would always aim for 1-to-1. Always aim for a minimum of 1-to-1. So with this Euro USD trade, I could have gotten 1R easily to the structure highs. But when I say structure highs, I'm simply referring to these highs right here. So this is the highest high, price pulled back. If 1R looked like this, if I was entering here and I could get 1R, this is what you call an extended target. Price needs to break these highs, which it has done, but it is less likely price is going to do that. You want to put your profit targets in the path of least resistance. That way you know they're going to get hit. There's a high chance of your take profit targets getting hit. So always try and aim for a 1-to-1. You don't want to have, an inverse risk to reward ratio, meaning if you're looking at a chart, let's just take Bitcoin, for example. Let's say you're taking a long position. You know what, let's just say a short position here. You saw this massive bearish candle, bearish engulfing candle. You had your stop loss at the high of that candle. You don't want to inverse and you're aiming for the lows. You don't want to inverse risk to reward ratio like that. Your win rate, if you do this, will be 80% plus, but your winners will be smaller than your losers, which will give you a negative expectancy, and over time, you'll bleed money out of your trading account. All right. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Minimum 1-to-1, even better, minimum 1 to 1.5. So a 1.5 risk to reward ratio will automatically keep you out of a lot of trades, but the trades you do take where you can get that risk to reward ratio will give you more gains in your account and a much better positive expectancy over time. Thanks for the stream, bro. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, I really do appreciate you guys being on. Definitely a good stream to end the week. Hope you guys all have a great day wherever you are and enjoy your weekend. Potentially, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you want to jump on the live stream, go over the week and kind of plan for my next week. But other than that, once again, I appreciate it, and I'll see you all next week. No worries, guys. Take it easy.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it up.